I mean, it is difficult.
No, okay, no, but he's saying, um, that his comments are taking forever to show up. No, I'm getting to see him. Sometimes we're talking and it takes me a second to get to your comment. But ha ha, funny. He'd rather hunt with Dick Cheney than ride with Ted Kennedy. I can't help but giggle at that. Yes,
Mm.
Chappaquiddick jokes never grow tired of them. And he also believes that anyone who goes to war is a hero in his opinion.
And that's what we've discussed. I mean, it is the word that is used for that, but it's
It
hard
is
to.
an all voluntary
Look,
army, and a lot of people when they sign up don't sign up to go to war. They sign up to get college paid for,
well, if you're
and
signing
they're
up now, you
hoping.
know you're
Well,
going.
yes, if you sign up now, you know you're going to war.
If you
But a
signed
lot
up
of
in
those guys
2000,
that
yeah.
signed up post 9/11 probably didn't sign up to go to war.
Well, pre 9/11, you mean? Like if you signed up in 2000, you may not have been
I
thinking.
said before 9/11.
You said post, not pre, but anyway.
Oh, okay, I meant
Sorry.
pre, not post. Sorry.
Yeah.
If
Um,
I make even the slightest little mistake, we got Mike here to point it out for us. But that's okay, because I do him the same favor.
exactly.
So there you go.
But yeah, no, I mean, there should be, like I say, there needs to be that differentiation, and I agree. Everyone that goes, full respect, a
I
hero to a
respect
certain
everyone's
extent.
service. I just don't
Exactly.
think everyone's a hero. You know, I don't. I
Yeah,
mean, how is getting caught at the beginning of the Vietnam War and sitting out in the Hanoi Hilton and you talked to get medical treatment? I don't blame the guy for talking. I'd have been singing like a bird probably personally, but then again, I wouldn't join the army. But you know, how is he a hero? I don't get it. And why wasn't he swift boated? I mean, Kerry got shot twice, I believe, in Vietnam, but they swift boated him. Max Cleland came home, like I said, I know it sounds gross, but came home a torso. He was swift boated. I mean, how is it if you're a Republican, you're a hero? If you don't agree with the Republicans, but you were in war and you were wounded, you get swift boated. Is that the way it works? I mean, that's what I really hope Barack Obama really brings. One of his promises that he's made that I really hope happens is the whole partisanship thing. That we all stop fighting with each other about, the small wedge issues, that we can agree or we can disagree without being disagreeable. If nothing else, I hope Barack Obama is able to fix that.
and yeah,
Because it wasn't always that way.
and the question is, even if you can fix it for the 4 years, or what happens 3 years from now when the next election comes around? Will people learn from it and just say,
Yeah.
hey, let's actually debate the
Both, yeah,
issues?
let's debate
You
the
know,
issues and vote for the guy with the best ideas. And
wow.
much to my surprise, that is what happened this election. The guy with the best ideas won. But how often do you actually see that happen? I mean, nobody can argue that George Bush was smarter than Al Gore. Al Gore was the smartest guy in the room and probably usually is whatever room he's in. You know, he's a smart guy. Whether you agree with his politics or not is one thing, but he's usually the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when are we going to stop voting in these C students and start voting in the A students? Well, we just did by voting Barack Obama in, and he was the smartest guy in the room, you know?
Yeah, well, and yeah, that is true. It was his charisma, the woodenness, the person, people trying to figure out who he was. It was certainly his
Yeah, but
downfall.
John McCain didn't have any charisma at all to speak of. I mean, Barack Obama started talking, and the crowd just went nuts. I mean, it was like being at a rock concert. I mean, you go to these things, and it's just it's like
Hey,
you couldn't even you seriously your adrenaline is pumping more after listening to Barack Obama than if you had just seen the Rolling Stones. And I like the Rolling Stones people.
no, John McCain was like a rock concert. He was like Ozzy Osbourne, staggering back and forth up on
Walking around the
stage
stage like Ozzy.
and repeating, "Listen, my friends, I'll make him famous." It's like,
Mm.
oh God, not that one again.
At, not on. You'll have to clarify that. I'm not sure. Yeah, the Democrats rally were all. Yeah, and that is true. That the Democrats were all pumped up. I like to think of myself as an independent. I don't, like I'm a liberal, but that doesn't necessarily ascribe me to us any particular party. But I think I vote for the party that I agree with the ideas the most. And if sometime it's not the party that I don't necessarily vote for the party that necessarily identifies a lot with my values as much as has the best ideas. Because some years the Republican will have the better idea.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
like, I mean, I think Ronald Reagan totally deserved to beat Jimmy Carter back in the 70s because Carter, while well intentioned, wasn't really a really great president. Now, he's been a fabulous, excellent statesman since, but he wasn't a good president. And Ronald Reagan, while I disagree with his politics, did turn out to be a pretty good president. I mean,
Yeah.
if you overlook all the shadowy stuff he did. But I mean, you know,
Well,
I think that goes on in any presidency, doesn't
and
it?
certainly,
Really?
you look at various individual states, and very often, it'll be the Republican instead of the Democrat who actually, seems to have his brain screwed on right in a given election. I mean, by and large, Schwarzenegger is still quite popular in a lot of areas of California because he may be Republican, but by and large, he's been doing a fairly decent job. In the
Yeah,
face
that's
of
kind of
things.
what I was alluding to, Scotsman. The Iran Contra stuff is like, of course, Ronald Reagan knew about that. How could he not? How could he
Oh,
not? Give me a break. Yeah, exactly. But no, and I'm with you because I've not in my lifetime been as excited about an American president as Obama. He by far in my lifetime. Now I was born shortly, I was born in the late '60s, '69 to be exact, the last year of the '60s. So I don't remember the whole JFK thing and stuff. Just what I know from history and history books and what people have told me and stuff. But but from what I understand, this is the way people felt about him, the way we feel about Obama.
yeah, just having that person burst onto the stage with a burst of energy and really get people motivated and get people thinking beyond just the little tiny wedge issues and the BS and manage to
Yeah.
put those things away and say, come on, let's think bigger than that.
Yeah.
Let's think
Let's
bigger
stop
than
having elections about small things.
yes. Let's
you
stop
know?
basing the election on abortion. With
Yeah,
everything we
well,
got
you
going
see,
in the
that's what I
country,
mean. You see, these are
abortion.
things, these are moral values and stuff like that, that there's a place for them, but I don't necessarily think in choosing the president there is. I mean, in a president, what are you looking for? You're looking with someone with sound judgment that's even keel. Nobody can deny Obama's got that. And, McCain was a hothead, and there's no denying that.
Yep.
And then what else are you looking for? So you're looking for good judgment, even keel, smart. My leader smart, somebody who knows the human experience, hasn't always been on a silver or platinum spoon, knows what it's like to suffer a little bit. That way, you can understand the human experience. Somebody you know, who can empathize. I don't understand how McCain ever claimed he could empathize.
Well,
I mean, he came from
he
not,
talked.
and that's not saying that there's anything wrong to come from money. It's just don't come from money and then say you understand what it's like to be down and out and worried about where your next meal's coming because you have no idea of what that is like. None.
Yeah, being the working stiff and still never feeling to get ahead. I mean, I'm sure he's had lots of chats with his gardener and his
Yeah,
butler and some
I
of his
think
mansions.
Scotsman
But
said best. Honesty would be nice for a change.
hey,
There's a
yeah.
concept, that they haven't.
And we all recognize that when it comes to campaigning, you've got to put out the face sometimes that people need to hear. I mean, there are some questions where there is the right answer, and you just can't really work around that. But by and large, some genuineness where you feel like you're actually, by and large, getting the person's real opinion and not just something that a focus group has said this is
Yeah.
the answer that's going to garner you the best votes in this demographic.
Yeah, so tell everybody what they want to hear. I mean, no, be honest, and you know what though, I really respect frontage. How do you pronounce your name? Frontage? Am I saying that right? Frontage?
Frottage?
Frottage? Frottage. Okay, frottage. And I really respect that you disagree with Obama, but you're here and you're being respectful, and we're disagreeing without being disagreeable. And I think that's the point, and
Yeah.
that's what he's trying to tell us to do. And I think that's awesome. And I salute you for doing that because a lot of people. It's easy for me. This is my show. I drive the conversation, but for you to be here and disagree.